Alright, welcome everyone to the Study Prep Guys channel. Today we'll be working Office Administration, May June 2019. We'll be answering I think it's question 1. We'll be making separate videos for this, so stay in tune and you could look at the other videos below. So that's question or section 1. It says answer all questions in this section. Identify 4 barriers to effective communication. There's a lot of barriers. One of the barriers to effective communication, I'll try to highlight it right here. So first of all, we have lack of clarity and context. When you communicate with somebody or when you're actually engaging in the communication process and you don't know how to clarify yourself, or you don't know how to even start a conversation, or you don't know what to ask, you don't know what to engage in, that could be a barrier. For example, you and your colleague, or you might want to talk to your colleague about some strategy to improve the working conditions in the business, or you might want to tell them that we should do this to increase the efficiency in the business, and you can't get that message across to that person or to your fellow colleague. That could create certain barriers to communication, and that could basically make it just a whole bunch of a mess, at least in that case scenario. Information overload. For example, in a lot of meetings, in a lot of these very formal meetings, they might talk on and on and on and on, very long conversation, and you will try to listen, you will listen, but to a certain extent you will just say, oh, I'm just so exhausted, I'm tired, I've listened to enough of this. Information overload is another barrier, because to make a conversation conversive, to make a conversation relevant, there needs to be a sharing of both ideas, and if one party is sharing more than the other, that creates information overload. Thirdly, we have hierarchy and power dynamics. In a business, we know that there is different hierarchy, and you might want to get through to your boss, but you need to go through different levels to reach to your boss. And when you tell that person who is below your boss, they might misrepresent the data and tell him something totally out of context that you did not intend to say, and that creates culture, that creates an indifference. It really messes up with the communication process a lot. Cultural differences and language barriers is another thing that really comes into play and even tampers with effective communication. And it says list 4 functions of the office in business activities. So it processes information, make room for logistics, and logistics is the complex inner workings of a business. It mainly involves with documentation, making documentation. This documentation could be in the form of content, so make room for logistics. I think I spelled that wrong. Logistics. We have marketing. This could be getting the branding out, determining the profit and loss. There's a lot of other things that the business is responsible for substantially, and I will make a separate video on all these terms in later videos. But let's look at CI. It says Harry and Baylis Ltd has been in operation for the past 2 years. At its annual retreat, it was agreed that fostering good relationships with colleagues would significantly contribute to the ongoing success of the business. Identify 3 measures that could be taken to contribute to better working relationships among colleagues. Some things that could be done is group cohesion activities. Example, weekend business hangouts, business trips with your colleagues and your friends. And in those case scenarios, you will have to talk to them. You will have to develop relationships with them, because it would be very boring, I would say. And that is one thing that could be done to increase good working relationships with your colleagues. Social communication, groups and networks. You have WhatsApp group, you have Messengers group, you have all of these groups, and you will have to converse to a certain degree, and that helps to develop socio-economical relationships with your fellow colleagues and acquaintances. Limit distractions to improve focus and productivity. Involve team leaders, cooperate communication, define clear objective. the leader of the business could say, guys, we all need to work together. Y'all need to work together in order to get this particular objective completed. That will contribute, and that will increase good working relationships with your fellow colleagues. Create a positive work environment, enhance employees' happiness. When you do a referendum to the business workplace to make it suitable to work, you will feel more comfortable to engage in conversations, and that will increase your working relationships with your colleagues. So it says here, you are secretary to Mr. Roger Baileys, Director of Administration, and he has instructed you to draft a memorandum to all clerical staff informing them of the upcoming automation of mailing function schedules beginning on 17th of June 2019. There will be a meeting for all clerical staff on the 29th of May 2019 at 2 p.m. in the main conference room to introduce the use of collating, folding, and sealing machines. All are expected to attend. The secretary is to include 2 advantages of using these different machines. Today's date is to be inserted. We have today's January 26th, 2004. Subject: mandatory meeting introduction to mailing function automation. So let's read it. As part of our developmental incentive aimed at improving organizational efficiency, all clerical workers are required to attend the meeting schedule as follows. Date: the 29th of May, time 2 p.m, location, and I leave that out because I know some of you are watching these videos and you're looking for answers. You could put in any place you want, but for right now I'll put in auditorium. The purpose of this meeting is to introduce the upcoming automation of mailing functions, a transformative incentive designed to enhance the business production process significantly. The reformative action is set to commence on the 17th of June 2019. Your attendance is essential to understand the changes, adapt to a new system, and contribute to its successful implementation. We look forward to seeing you at the meeting and to work together on the exciting new phase for our organization. Best regards. You could state your name, and let me just do that now. I don't want to think about my real name, so I'll just think it out. Justin. I put management director. Justin, management director, ABC company. And that is that. We'll close off right here. Guys, look at the bottom, you will see part 2. Subscribe here, like, and bell. Guys, see you in the video.
Don't stay awake for too long, don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and going out of bed. Yeah, I don't wanna fall asleep, I don't wanna pass away. I've been thinking of a future, cause I never see those days. I don't know why this has happened, but I probably deserve it. I try to do my best, but you know that I'm not perfect. I've been praying for forgiveness, you've been praying for my health. When I leave this earth, so will you find someone else? Cause yeah, we're still young, there's so much we haven't done. Getting married, start a family, with your husband and his son. I wish I could be me, but I won't make it out this bed. I hope I go to heaven, so I see you once again. My life was kinda short, but I got so many blessings. Happy you were mine, it sucks that it's all ending. Don't stay awake for too long, don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and going out of bed. Yeah, I don't stay awake for too long, don't go to bed. I'll make make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and